I had for a long time been interested in a 3D printer, so I bought my first 3D printer from an Australian company, Aurarum in Melbourne. The model I chose was an Ender 3 Max. It was a large capacity printer, was competitively priced, and designed to be progressively upgraded on a needs basis. The box landed on my doorstep a couple of days later, so I muscled it upstairs and carefully put it together according to the instructions. I had bought a roll of black PLA with the printer, so I had the bare basics to actually test it out. This short video clip is the first 3D print I made with the new printer, and was the start of a learning curve to get good quality 3D prints. One of the first things you need to learn is how to take care of your filaments. The simple solution is to buy a low-cost filament dryer. I did an internet search for Australian suppliers and, lo and behold, the best price I could find was Aurarum in Melbourne, so I bought one to test it out. It worked well, so I bought a number of them, as it facilitates being able to change filaments quickly, and being stored correctly and properly dry. They work well and don't suffer deterioration. Both the internet and various retailers have very wide ranges of colors and types of filaments, and many of them work well and deliver good results, but price and quality vary considerably. The factor for any who want to print reliable and strong 3D prints is consistency, and this is more complex than it sounds. The most common filament is PLA, and while it is one of the strongest filaments when printed properly, it is also brittle and is not well suited for items that are subject to impact loads and will shatter if overloaded. Without going into much higher temperature filament types that are much harder to successfully print, a reasonable choice is modified PLA, commonly referred to as PLA+. Aurarum produce a range of PLA+ filaments that have performed very well, and have been highly consistent when changing from one color to another while retaining the same settings. The next is a small project, a simple strong handle, downloaded from the Prusa Printables website. It is well designed, with the intention of being a strong handle, for 20 by 20 framing extrusion, but it can also be used as a general-purpose handle for other applications. This is the current printing setup, an Ender 3 Max with some modifications, and a dryer pointed directly at the extruder, to give the best path for the filament feed. The first layer is critical to the success of the print. Correct nozzle height, commonly called leveling the bed, will give you excellent adhesion. In this case, the nano adhesive has been used. The support around the lower edges is to reduce the risk of an edge being dragged off and ruining the print. The 5-line skirt is purely pragmatic. It allows more time to see if the layers are being produced correctly, and is more reliable than the default purge done when the print is started. If the skirt does not print properly, you can stop the print and adjust any necessary settings before starting again. This saves you from wasting filament and ending up with a tangled mess. This is the final operation. There is a setting in the original Creality slicer to improve the top finish by ironing. This reduces the time for any post-finishing that you may want, depending on what you are going to use the handle for. The choice of the Aurarum Silky Gold PLA Plus may be an unusual requirement unless this is what you are after. In technical targets, the plain silky black Aurarum PLA Plus works well with black 20 by 20 framing extrusion. This is the finished 3D print cooling down on the glass bed. The upside of the glass bed is it is very flat, and leaves a very good finish on the bottom of the printed item. The downside of the glass bed is you must wait for the bed to cool down before you can remove the printed item. The support under the bottom of the print comes off when you remove the finished item from the bed after it has cooled down, which reduces any post-finishing time. Finishing a project like this is a matter of taste and how it's going to be used. To make the mounting safer, the two end mounting faces need to be flat, so that the handle can be screwed to a flat surface. This is done by using a sheet of 120 grit wet and dry sandpaper on a flat surface, and sanding the two faces until they are flat. The handle has been touched up with a fine file, and then polished using a Scotch-Brite so that it matches the original satin finish. A simple project of this type, on an entry-level 3D printer, is only a taste of what you can do when you have access to a wide range of filaments, from easy-to-use PLA to exotic high-temperature filaments. Printers from entry-level to high-powered hardware. A useful range of accessories that are generally in stock, and only local shipping times, instead of waiting months for things that may not arrive. For tech-savvy customers, Aurarum delivers quality items at competitive prices and decent service. Hi, I'm Jack, your narrator for this video. I'm a high-tech, text-to-speech voice. This video is copyright Steve Hutchison, 2022, and all rights are reserved. The music in the video, Grave Matters, is directly licensed from the author, Kevin MacLeod. With Aurarum filaments, may all your 3D prints turn out perfectly.